not everybody gets to play for a Hall of Fame head coach and a legend like Lou Holtz. I mean, I want to ask you about the transition going. And again, you talked about the selling point. I mean, and I think you did see Skip try to open it up in 2000 and 2001. Like I think of the Bama game in 01 where, you're seeing Phil Petty in 5 wides and the announcers are joking. The announcers are joking like, what's more of like shocking, where'd that 5 wides come from? And then of course, just so on brand, because I had Rod Trafford on the show a couple.
Yeah.
I had Trafford on the show, and it's just so fitting because you go 5 wides, and literally the next play is wing T, and it's like just right back to it. So,
right.
But what were those first meetings like with Holtz? I mean, again, this is. I'm sure you kind of grew up watching some of Lou Holtz's teams, and again, to be coached by a legend had to be kind of probably a pretty surreal feeling at first, if nothing else.
Yeah. So what his main objective was to go against the grain. His thought process was everything that was there is the reason why everything wasn't working.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of raises, the hairs on the back of your neck if you're already there, like the redheaded stepchild type deal. You're like, oh crap, I know he's not talking about me. And I'm sitting there like, hell, I was a red shirt. None of this crap is my fault, but whatever, dude. So his whole thing was to go against the grain in terms of attitude and building character. Mm-hmm. So it was no earrings. If your gold teeth could come out, they were coming out because some of the guys got them done in the dentist. Mm-hmm. If you had braids, those are getting cut off. I'm bald, so I don't care. Those are getting cut off. Yeah. Names on the back of the jerseys gone because we had too many prima donnas. Kind of like when you see people make a tackle 30 yards down the field and flex, that whole mindset out the window. And it just happened to line up at the same time when the NCAA started having that uniformity type deal where we had either pro socks or no socks.
Right.
You remember like in 1998, you could have a damn half jersey showing your ab muscles.
Yeah. Because Ricky Williams was like, I mean, that's all you see is like he had that half cut up jersey or whatever.
Right. You could have like wristbands all up and down your arms. You could have like different color gloves. The NCAA had pro socks and they made everybody wear those gray gloves for like 3 or 4 years. So that happened. And then the most impactful meeting that he ever had was he was talking about fundamentals and why people are like making mistakes. And he said, because there's a lack of accountability. And you have a lack of accountability because you don't trust the man next to you. And the reason you don't trust the man next to you is because you don't know the man next to you. And so what we did after every summer practice during like 2-a-days and into the season, 1 or 2 guys would get up and kind of give their life story. Mm-hmm. So like the struggles, you find out like all kind of family problems. Like it was one guy on my team with all these scars on his forearm. We learned the story behind that. And what that happened and what made that click in our heads was it turned it into like you're responsible for another person, not just like an X or O. So that accountability level raised as well. So that's how he kind of changed the culture. And then in terms of us, having the pants sagging or looking sloppy, wearing whatever we wanted, he took us all down to Lurie's, which was, downtown. Yeah. At the local haberdashery. Yeah. And all of us got fitted. And I think they took money out of people's financial aid or just made you or did something. It was some arrangement that was not illegal that people were griping about, but all of us had the black blazer with the gold buttons, gray slacks, black and garnet tie, and white dress shirt and belt and black shoes. And that's what became our uniform getting on and off the bus. But he had to go so hard because there was a lot of things in the culture he had to eventually break down.
When did it click for you that the offense wasn't going to be quite how you imagined?
Oh man, you know what? So that summer we go visit Coach Fitch and then Skip, and they give us a VHS tape, which lets you know how old I am. But it's a VHS tape of him on a whiteboard, and they're just like going to town. I'm telling you, we had a million plays, man, like a million. So I'm like cheesing from ear to ear, like
bunch of pass plays.
Oh yeah, a bunch of pass plays. I mean, they're just going to work, like having to change out markers, like just doing it. So like the first game, I'm like, okay, cool. We're not, throwing. It took like 3 games, and I was like, okay, I see where this is going. I see where this is going.
And you had the big bruising backs too. I mean, I think Andrew Pennick's just the one that jumps out immediately. I mean, that it kind of fit the style there, but.